Hello, good to see you. Fancy seeing you here. Welcome to 3.047. That's our classroom number. We're going to have a quick chat about economics at Nexus. We're going to talk about what economics is, what we study, how we study it, and certain things that we can look for in the course. Firstly, what is economics? Well, as you see here, economics is the study of how people and society use the scarce resources that they have to meet the needs and wants that they have. It looks at various things. We look at production, what things are made, how they're made, who they're made for, so the distribution side, but also us, the consumers. The different topics at IGCSE that we look through are introduction to economics, microeconomics, business economics, macroeconomics, international trade, and then we're going to do some revision as well because we've got a couple of exams coming up. So that would be the course content for IGCSE economics. Key understandings with regards to assessment. So after the 2 years, or we'll get to that, after 2 years, we're going to look at paper 1 and paper 2. They've both got the same structure. They both are an exam. They are an hour and a half length. It's basically 50-50. We've divided the course in half. So paper 1, it looks at microeconomics and business economics. And paper number 2, it looks at international economics and the macroeconomic side of our course. They are all 4 questions within the papers. Each one is worth 20 marks. They have sub-questions within them, and there are a number of multiple choice questions as well as short answer questions, some data response questions, so you'll have to do some calculating, and there'll be some open-ended essay length questions as well. So 6 mark extended response, 9 mark little essay about a page length, and then you might get a 12 mark question, which is a page to page and a half, maybe even 2 pages worth of an essay explaining their understanding of economic principles and then applying it to a real world situation. Might be evaluating a government policy. So that's paper 1 and paper 2. If we do it as a modular course, then the option is at the end of year 10, they can sit paper 1. Okay? So then at the end of the whole course, all right, after the whole 2 years, they then only have to sit paper 2. And they will have gotten results from both. They might do that, or at the end of the second year, they may decide to sit paper 1 again in order to get maybe a higher result than they got in the first case. Now, if we then think about IB economics is a step up from our IGCSE ideas. We're looking again at how the economies work and how people use the scarce resources that they have, the decisions that they make with those scarce resources. Individual consumers, businesses, the government, put them all together and we've got an entire economy and indeed an entire economic world that we can investigate. So we're thinking about, these are our topics. Introduction to economics, we've got microeconomics again. We're going to look at microeconomics part 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to take microeconomics and then we're going to explode it. We're going to break the whole model. We're going to see what happens if the market fails. With IB, there's a higher level learning and a standard level learning. And higher level learners in that microeconomic part 2 section, they've got a whole separate unit that they study that the standard level learners, they don't study that. Okay. Macroeconomics we covered before, right? International trade we're going to be looking at, and a topic that they don't cover in IGCSE, and that's economic development. So growing and developing countries, what they're like, how they work, etc. Now that's IB economics. There's a lot more to do in that 2 years. And as a result, their exams, their assessment looks a little different and it's a lot more academic. It's very much like a first year university course. All right. So if you are a standard level learner, you will sit paper 1 and paper 2. If you're a higher level learner, you sit paper 1, paper 2, and paper 3, which is higher level only. Paper 1 is essays. You write 2 essays, that's it. You have 1 question that you answer, all right? You can choose, there's going to be 3 questions in there, you get to choose one. It's going to be a part A essay, and then a part B essay. And the part B's are going to be evaluative. They're quite difficult to do, all right? So 10 mark, 15 mark, add them all up, hour 15 worth of time. Yeah, it takes a little bit of doing to be able to manage to do that quite well. Paper 2, that you see there, paper 2 is short answer, extended response, model application, some calculations, and it's bang, 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 one after the other. You end up, again, an hour 45 for that paper, but you're going to spend answering just 1 question, and again, there's going to be a choice of questions you can answer, so you get to pick, and within there, each question is then divided up into 7 parts, and you have to answer all 7 to try and get those marks. Paper 3, as we said, there it is, paper 3 is HL only, and in that paper, it's kind of like a paper 2, but bigger, okay? You still only use, now you've got to answer 2 questions, but those 2 questions, you are answering them in the hour 45, and the questions are split up, all right? You've got sub-questions and sub-parts to them, and then at the end, you do a policy essay. So you are recommending, based on whatever case study you're given, you're recommending a particular government policy, economic policy for a government, and then you're giving the reasons why you're recommending that. On top of all of that, they also have this internal assessment idea. Internal assessment is we do it in school, all right? And they learn how to do it. They do it, and there are 3 commentaries, and they do the 3 at different stages of the course. So in their year 12 year, they do 1 commentary, and then in their year 13 year, they're going to do 2 commentaries. 1 microeconomics, and 1 macroeconomics, and 1 international economics. And they write about a case study that's in a news article, and they write it up and explain the economics of it. All right, but they have to do it 3 times. Okay, so that is all of that we need to understand with regards to assessment for IB economics. Now, there's a lot there for you to take away and a lot for you to think about. If you read that and think about it, and you still have questions and you want more information, that's my email address. Okay, you can send me an email. You know the classroom number. You can pop in even and see me if you need to. All right, but that email address will get to me, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Okay, thank you very much for listening. Hey, Corneta, have a fantastic day. Yep, bye-bye.